So I've got the playlist up. It says 70 videos, but a lot of them are not a lot of them. Some of them are compilations. So
Okay.
we're gonna do sections at a time, starting with Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3, and then a couple of Vanilla WoW, those two there, and then Burning Crusade. So what I'm thinking, let's switch it over, is now you watched the Warcraft movie, so you have an idea of Warcraft 1 lore. And
Somewhat.
I explained to you the differences.
I understand it based on what you explains. The actual lore from the movie, I don't remember. But yes, in a basic sense, I do know the lore.
Luckily, it's not that expanse, so it's very easy to like remember it. Warcraft 2, it's not much thing. Warcraft 3 is really where big themes and characters actually come into play. Like all of the characters from Warcraft 3 are referenced or are in World of Warcraft. Very few characters from the earlier games are in World of Warcraft. So that's really where you need to like start focusing story-wise. These are just cutscenes showing like win and lose conditions.
All right.
But it then translated into lore. So what I want to do is, if I go up to a certain point and it requires like, okay, now we're going into vanilla WoW, from here to here, this is what happens, and then I'll show you the clip, let you see it, give me your thoughts on what you think, and then I can explain what happened.
Okay.
Is that work for you?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is Warcraft 2. Now, after Warcraft 1, now that war took place in 6 years.
Yes.
Between Warcraft 1 and Warcraft 2, 2 years pass. The orcs, their war chief Blackhand, dies in the first war. Now it's war chief Orgrim Doomhammer. And he actually has that hammer right there. That's his hammer. Hammer. But, he is now pushing up north. Yeah, you remember the game map, right? You have Stormwind.
Yes.
Stormwind is Warcraft 1. Now they're going past the dwarf starting zone all the way into what you would know in World of Warcraft as the undead area. That's Lordaeron.
Okay, I don't think I've been there, but alright.
I'm just saying, do you kind of remember the map?
Yeah.
Actually, the map is right here. It's my...
Yeah, I walked
mouse.
down south. I didn't walk north.
Yeah, so Warcraft 1 is all here. Now he's going up here.
Yeah.
Now there's actually several human kingdoms, but that is the target, is right here.
Okay.
So that's the basis of what's going on. So here's Warcraft 2. And by the way, this is not yet when Blizzard had good animations.
I see.
Because they're known for their excellent cinematics, right?
Yeah.
That started more like Diablo / Warcraft 3.
Okay.
These are meme-worthy terrible.
I see.
So brace yourself.
The once mighty army of Azeroth lay among the blackened and charred remains of Stormwind Keep. Those that escaped fled across the Great Sea. Now, united in arms with new allies against a common foe, mankind stands at the shores of destiny and awaits the coming of the Tides of Darkness.
So that was the intro. I don't know if that's supposed... I don't remember what that's really supposed to represent, but a lot of it looked like naval combat, because in Warcraft 1, it's literally just ground troop combat. In Warcraft 2 is when they introduced naval combat. So that was like the primary focus and the draw of playing Warcraft 2 as opposed to Warcraft 1, is now you can load your troops onto boats and send them across the water. You can either do naval combat, or you can offload your troops, let them fight, go get more. And they also introduced aerial combat, so instead of boat combat, you could send Griffin Riders or Dragon Riders.
I saw that. They look like there are a few airships in there.
Yeah, but primarily it's like the Dwarven Griffin Riders and the Orcish Dragon Riders. That's what my book that I'm writing is kind of I'm basing it off of Warcraft 2. That's why it's dragons and griffins.
Yeah.
So now the next two videos. So this is the win condition for the orc campaign. So this is like, all right, you won the war. The orcs killed everybody, right? But it's just meme worthy to watch. I think it's like all the different cutscenes in the Warcraft campaign.
Punch.
I forgot they had war tools. Is this the one with... Yeah, he does the exact same, like every time.
Guards!
Oh my. I remember when Warcraft was actually brutal and not just fucking rainbows and furries everywhere. Yeah, that was the Orc campaign if they had won. Now, in the lore, they did get a lot of victories. They actually almost won. What happened when you saw that demon? So you remember in the movie Gul'dan, the demon orc?
Yes.
He had the spikes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was him opening those doors. So now, I think the official lore, what happened was after Warcraft 1, he goes into a coma for a couple of years because he's defeated and the magic backfires and that's what happens. Then he finds himself in prison because Ogrim's like, I don't like your demon magic kind of thing. You twisted the orcs and did all this bullshit, but we're here now, so we're gonna just go ahead and conquer this world. We might as well.
Yeah.
We're going all the way. So at some point, he tells Gul'dan and his other cabal of the Shadow Council, he's like, I'll let you out of prison and not kill you, but you are serving me, not the other way around.
Yeah.
So Gul'dan does so, but you know, he's just doing it to keep himself alive. He actually doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
One thing that comes about this is he's actually the one who creates the very first Death Knights. So there's two types of Death Knights in World of Warcraft. The first, the Generation 1 Death Knights, is the one that he creates. And that's essentially taking the souls of orcs that had been slain in battle and putting them into the bodies of humans who have been slain in battle. So now they're orcish souls in human bodies, and they call themselves the Death Knights. But Gul'dan, because he's using dark magic, doesn't tell Ogrim this. He just says, oh, these are faraway warriors come to aid us. So he's like, I don't like this, but fine. So, and then what happens is he tells Gul'dan, all right, we're literally marching through to get the capital of Lordaeron. Another kingdom, Alterac, which is like on the way there through the mountains. This guy betrays the human alliance that had formed and says, orcs, I'll let you through my passage straight there if you leave my kingdom alone. So he betrays the humans, and that's what's happening. Now, he's got a good front, but he tells Gul'dan, I need you to take the ships around to the northern end so we can pincer them and win.
Yeah.
And that was the human campaign. That's why you saw the ships and everything is falling apart, because that's what happens when they won. In the lore, that's not what happens. Gul'dan says, fuck y'all, I'm out of here, and goes west. He opens up those doors to the tomb of Sargeras. And that screaming that you heard was Gul'dan dying, because he opened it up thinking, my master wanted me to do this. This is my master's, like his powers behind these doors. I can unleash it like he wants it. Well, he gets dragged into the tomb and torn apart by demons.
Oh, boy.
Well, because now he's not there with the boats, the orcs lose and now have to go back south, and the humans push them south again. So obviously they won. They push him back down. That last, okay, so in the movie, the main hero of the humans, Anduin Lothar, do you remember him?
Yes.
So as they push him, I'm going to show you my map again. As they push him back down to Burning Steps, where the big black mountain was. You remember that in the movie? The big black mountain, it's like the volcano.
The one where they had the lightning thing happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's as far as I got down so far. What happens is they have a battle. Anduin Lothar ends up getting killed by Ogrim. He completely demolishes him with his hammer.
Oh, that's not good.
Well, up now, at this point, the paladins have first formed. There's a handful of them, and the youngest among them, what was his name? His name was Turalian. He's the new up-and-coming, and he was kind of close to Anduin. Now, Anduin was, at this point, the leader of the Alliance. He was no king, but the kings of the human kingdoms trusted him to lead the Alliance.
Yeah.
So he's going in there. Now he's fallen to Ogrim. Turalian then summons forth the light, captures Ogrim, and they send him to prison in Lordran. So they keep him alive as a political prisoner. So now, while that happens, the orcs are scattering. The few chieftains that remain, some of them go into hiding in the human lands, and some of them are now going beyond the Dark Portal.
That's the name of the thing.
Yes. I think it's supposed to be the same video.
Orcish hordes lay vanquished as the triumphant armies of the Alliance stood vigil over the evil gateway that had brought the orcs into Azeroth.
I think that guy is supposed to be
Calling upon the
Turalian. This is Khadgar.
Archwizard Khadgar, the fury of the
Khadgar.
earthly skies were unleashed upon the Dark Portal to destroy it once and for all.
We actually, I'll just skip through the rest of it. We don't really need to watch the rest of it. But essentially what happens is they cannot destroy the portal on their end. So Khadgar, Turalian, an elf called Alaria, and a dwarf called Kurdrin, I think it was, as well as a bunch of other NPCs. They go through on a suicide mission to destroy it from the other side. Now, this is in the book Beyond the Dark Portal. What happens is, as they're there, they establish a base of operations, and they're doing a campaign to defeat the orcs on their own homeworld, which is now known as the Outland, because it's been just destroyed and ravaged by all the demon energies. What was once lush and flourishing is now barren and wasteland, to the point that the planet itself is ripping apart, and it's literally just floating rock in the space. So now what's happening is, actually no, it's not ripped apart yet. What happens is, now you did not see this character in the movie, but there's an orcish, I don't remember if he was a chieftain, but he's the high shaman called Ner'zhul. He was actually Gul'dan's teacher to become a shaman. Gul'dan goes into the demon stuff because he's crippled, he's weak, and he never found his way in the shamanism. And he's like, oh, fell magic is easy, so I'll just do that instead. And that's what leads to the betrayal of the orcs and yada yada.
Yeah.
We don't need to go into that right now. But Ner'zhul, at first, he was like, he was basically tricked into bringing the demon stuff here. So at first, when he finds out that's what happened, he takes a backseat and he just says, go do what you do. I fucked up and I don't want anything more to do with this. But now, the orcs that managed to go back through, they come back, including a couple of chieftains. One of them is Kargath, and a few other chieftains. And they say, this is what happened on the other side, we're fucked, and now they're coming through to kill us. Well, Ner'zhul is saying, you know what, I fucked you guys before, let's try to open another dark portal to somewhere else. Maybe we'll get an easier level.
Yes.
We'll find an easier world to conquest.
Maybe the RNG will be better.
The RNG will be better. So, but here's the thing. He's not just opening one, he opens hundreds at the same time. Now, you might see depictions of him in later. You will definitely see depictions of him later on. You'll know him by, he's got a skull painted on his face. So if you see an orc with a skull painted on his face, that's Ner'zhul. But what happens is he tries opening all these dark portals at the same time, and that's what rips the planet apart. Now...
Bo tried to pull gotcha rolls on the portal.
Now, at the same time, what happens is the demons that were doing all this stuff with the orcs, they come back to him, and they basically... I don't remember exactly what happens, but essentially how it turns out is that Ner'zhul's body is ripped from him, or his spirit is ripped from his body, and it is put into the Helm of Domination, which is the Lich King's helmet.
Yeah.
Ner'zhul is the first Lich King, but he is embodied in the armor frozen at the top of Icecrown Citadel. So he can't do anything but spread his influence where he can. But now he is in control of the army of the dead. He is the first Lich King. So that's essentially what happens. Now, let's just skip ahead to kind of just show you. This is just orcs and humans meeting each other. There's Khadgar. I think that's supposed to be Cho'Gall, who's a two-headed ogre. Oh, there he is. So that's Ner'zhul.
It's the man.
It's the man.
The dude. The guy. Negagante.
Oh, dragon. I'm assuming this is supposed to be Neltharion, which is also known as Deathwing. He's supposed to be a black dragon, not a green dragon. But, he makes a pact with the orcs. Now, dragons are not native to where the orcs are from, which is called Draenor, or Outland. He said, when they're still on Azeroth, he says, I'll let you take some of my dragons to your world, and you can raise them up as your mounts, because in the Second War, where they were riding dragons, they actually enslaved red dragons, but they lost the ability to do that. We don't need to go into that story, but now they lost the ability to ride red dragons, so the black dragons come, and he says, I'll let you have some of my children, but my influence should spread to your world. He's an evil dragon, by the name Deathwing, as you can assume. Well, so they do control some of his dragons, and others do their own thing. Well, they control some of them. Now, because of all of the twisting magics that, like, shredded and twisted the world, they actually morph into what's now known as Netherwing dragons. And they're, like, ethereal looking. They're actually really cool.
Yeah.
But that's what this video is supposed to show. And that's pretty much it. So, they destroy the Dark Portal. That is supposed to be the skull of Gul'dan. How he got it, I don't know. See, the skull of Gul'dan, this is not canon, but it's gonna be my canon. It fucking teleports. Because he dies in the Tomb of Sargeras. I don't know how the fuck Khadgar gets it, brings it to Outland, and then I'll say another character gets it, but he finds it over here in the map, completely fucking all the way over there.
Well, you see, Will just wanted a summer vacation, and people keep picking him up and using him for stuff.
All right, but now we're gonna get to the good stuff. So now this is gonna be Warcraft 3.
Proper animation.
Proper animation. It still looks goofy as fuck, but this is where they started getting their name.
Looks better than what it did.
Yes. It still looks goofy, you'll see, but
Yeah.
it looks a lot better. It looks a lot like this is where they got their name.
This is where they're beginning to believe.
They're beginning to believe. All right, so now from Warcraft 2, the Second War, to Warcraft 3, I think it's about 15 to 18 years. Now, at the end of the first movie, you saw the baby orc. They named him Goel. He's Thrall. You're familiar with Thrall because he's a main character of the game. So he's Thrall. What happens is he actually you saw him at the end of the movie. He gets picked up by the humans. Now he's picked up by a human called Blackmore, who's a son of a bitch.
Yes.
And Blackmore trains him to become a gladiator. He's like, I can make money off of this. You know, he'll be my prized champion and win all the matches because of his brutish animalistic strength. So he does that. But at the same time, he wanted him to have the best teachers. Well, the best teachers are honorable, and they teach Thrall how to read, how to write, strategy. Blackmore's like, you don't need to teach him that. Just teach him to swing a sword. He's like, no, I'm going to teach him properly. So that's why Thrall is as good as he is. But then he also learns humanism from the humans. I won't go too much into his story, but one thing I want to mention is at one point when he's training, he notices that they're bringing a wagon of an orcish prisoner, and as they're about to come into Durnhold, which is where he's being kept, the Thrall, basically, when he's training with the soldiers, he has to let them hit them. He can't strike back. That's his rule. That's the rule on him. He's a slave. That's why he's named Thrall. Anyway, so he sees this orc, and he had never seen an orc before. He just thought he was weird. So he sees it, he's like, whoa, that's weird. Now the orc sees him getting beat by the humans, even though that's what he's supposed to be doing. And this orc doesn't know that. He's thinking a brother is being attacked by the humans. He actually rips out of his chains, and he charges for Thrall and the humans, shouting in Orcish, until they shot him down and kill him. Now that stuck with Thrall. He's like, why did he attack me? Why is he yelling? I thought, like, he doesn't know why. Later on, he escapes from Durnhold. He befriends some of the humans, and they help him escape. He finds his people again. One of them is Gromash, the chieftain of the war song. I remember I showed you clips of him in the movie.
Yes.
He's actually got a big part, but they didn't really show him in the movie. Anyway, long story short, he tells Gromash at some point, like, the story of what happened with that orc. And he's like, I remember it clearly. He said, you know, this in Orcish. What does that mean? And Gromash looked at him. He says, he was telling you to run. He was trying to save you. Well, from Gromash, he realizes, well, you're not Warsong, but I think you're Frostwolf. Why don't you go to the Frostwolf clan? They're your people. They can help you further. And from there, the Frostwolf clan, their chieftain is dead. You saw Duratan, the main orc leader in the movie. He dies. He dies from assassination, not from battle with Gul'dan. That was a stupid movie thing. But but he dies from assassination, and the mom too. So now the leader, there's no chieftain. The leader is... He was not in the movie when he should have been, but it is Drekthar, the high shaman of the tribe. Now, something that Thrall had with him was a blanket from when he was a baby, that he was wrapped in. And Drekthar sees this, and he's like, you're Goel. You're the chieftain's son. You're supposed to be the chieftain. But because he was not raised in Orcish culture, he had to learn first, master his stuff, and at some point when he's almost ready, a strange orc arrives. That orc is Ogrim Doomhammer. He escaped from the human prisons, and he roams, basically being out like an outcast, because he can't face the people he failed, but he's too coward to kill himself because that's not honorable.
Yeah.
So he just wanders, and now he doesn't keep contact, but a few people he talks to, and Drekthar is one of them. So now he's heard about this strange orc that grew up as a human, and he's the one who tests him. He's like, you know what? Duratan, your father was my best friend. I see him in you. You have the potential to be the new war chief. Now Thrall takes up that mantle. He is the war chief of the new reformed Horde. He goes to Grummash. He says, I'm reforming the Horde. You guys scattered at the end of the Second War. Let's bring it back. All of our people that are in internment camps, we're going to go and rescue them. Rebuild the Horde. So that's where this starts.
We never paid any heed to the ancient prophecies. Until the day the sky rained fire, and the new enemy came among us.
That's called an infernal.
We stand now upon the brink of destruction, for the reign of chaos has come at last.
TM.
Yeah.
TM. Is this? Okay, yeah, okay. So that was the intro to the game. This is the intro to the campaign.
The sands of time have run out.
The Kodos were the frickin' mounts of the orcs, and then they made them Tauren mounts in World of Warcraft. That music is in World of Warcraft a lot. And you go into like dungeons and stuff. Love it.
Heroes arise to challenge fate and lead their brethren to battle. As mortal armies rush blindly towards their doom, the
That's
burning
Thrall.
shadow comes to consume us all. You must rally the Horde and lead your people to their destinies.
Okay, so thoughts first.
I wonder why the Infernals, things coming out in the Infernals, you said, right?
Yeah, those are called infernals.
Why are they coming from the sky?
That's just what they do.
I see.
But
Alright.
so I'll talk about why they're coming after a few more cutscenes. But right now, as you saw, Thrall is leading the new Horde. He's not looking for conquest as the older orcs did. He's trying to rally his people, and then once he gets enough of them, or most of them, they plan to sail west to Kalimdor to make a new home for the orcs. They say, fuck this, the humans fucked us, let's just grab our
We're
people
out.
and go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll out! So, this is starting now the third war of the orcs and the humans. But as you see, there's a third party. Actually, there's soon to be a fourth party.
Interesting.
That starts at the end of the human campaign, which I think is actually this 2 cutscenes from now, you'll see. And I'll explain when we get there. But, in the first movie in the movie you saw, the mage who was corrupted and he's the one who opened the dark portal.
Yes.
That's Medivh. Now, in the first war, they kill him to stop him from summoning more shit. They cut his head off. Now, Medivh somehow is back, but it's not confirmed why, but people speculate that he's just like a specter. Because he is the guardian, and now that he's been purged of that demonic influence, he is back to kind of redeem his mistakes. As you see, the demons are coming back.
Yes.
And that was his primary goal, was to keep them away. So, right now he's a specter, and he's invading Thrall's mind. You won't see this in a cutscene, so I'll tell it to you, but he goes to a human mage called Jaina. Now, do you recognize that name? She's a main character.
It sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't remember why.
She, actually, you saw her in that one video I showed you. She was wearing blue. She's blonde with blue.
Yes.
But traditionally, she would wear purple and white. That was her original outfit. But she's an up-and-coming young mage. But she's talented. She's a prodigy. He tells her, look, get your people and head west to Kalimdor. I told the orcs to go there too. We all need to go to Kalimdor. That's where the final battle's going to happen. You need to go there. So she's like, okay, I'm not sure why, but I trust you. Something about me, makes me trust you. So that was going to be her thing, but that doesn't happen until a little bit later. So let's go to the next one, because I think now is the human campaign.
This is absurd. My nation will not stand by and watch as the horde masses on our very doorstep.
The orcs are not our primary concern here. How many times must I repeat myself?
King Tyrannus, you must heed my warning.
This plague that has gripped the Northlands could have dire ramifications.
Let's keep all this in perspective. Even if this plague does pose a threat to us, what are you proposing that we do?
It is simple. As I have said, the Kirin Tor are already prepared to place the villages under strict quarantine.
I will not institute quarantine without proof of your claims, Ambassador. The people of Lordaeron have suffered enough without becoming prisoners in their own lands.
Yet prisoners they are, good king.
What is the meaning of this? Who are you?
Humanity is in peril. The tides of darkness have come again, and the whole world is poised upon the brink of war.
Enough of this. Guards, remove this madman.
Hear me. The only hope for your people is to travel west, to the forgotten lands of Kalimdor.
Are you mad?
Old Ambassador, I don't know who you are or what you believe, but this is not the time for rambling prophets. Our lands are beset by conflict, but it shall be we who decide how best to protect our people, not you. Now, be gone!
I failed humanity once before, and I will not do so again. If you cannot take up this cup, then I shall find another who will.
And that's when he goes to see Jaina.
The warning has been given. Their fate is now their own.
Let's see.
What's this? Oh, yes! Okay, okay. This is probably, out of all of the Warcraft 3 cutscenes, this is the most iconic one. So what happens is, as you heard, one of the guys there mentioned a plague.
Yes.
Remember how I said that the character of Arthas is the best written villain character?
Yes.
So this is where his story comes into place. He's an up-and-coming paladin, and he's King Tyrannus' son, the Prince of Lordran. He's also best friends with Jaina. And his mentor is Uther, the guy I showed you from the one video.
Yes.
So, he is now sent to investigate this plague. He's like, this is going to be your task, my son, your first big mission. So, him and Jaina go along together. Sometimes Uther joins, but it's typically these two. And the first couple of villages that they go to that have reported having plague, they're finding zombies.
See.
So now, they're having to realize, like, what's going on? As they progress, they realize the plague is turning people into zombies. It's a zombie plague. But how is it spreading besides, you know, just people eating each other? Actually, it doesn't spread like that. It's not like normal plagues. It doesn't spread by being bitten. So, like, how is it spreading? Eventually, I forgot what town it is, but it doesn't matter. They find out the way it's being spread is that necromancers are implanting it into grain. So then it's being baked into the food and people are eating it. They then go to one of the major cities of the area that they're in called Stratholme to warn them. But as they get there, this is described, it's in the game, but it's described better in the book, that he can already smell the freshly baked bread. And he says, oh no, these people have already been infected. So now, what would you do?
Raise the city.
So, he says, it's too late. They've already been infected. We need to kill them all now before they turn into zombies. Jaina and Uther are like, what? There has to be some other way. You can't possibly do this.
What?
So Arthas says, as your future king, you do this, or I'm disbarring you from the paladins. You are not my king yet, boy! Nor would I obey that order even if you were.
Honestly, I agree with Arthas.
Yeah. There's actually a big debate online of whether it was right or wrong, so you're Team Arthas. But he considers it an act of treason. So he sends Uther away, and anyone without the stomach, get out of my sight! And Jaina walks with them. Now he feels betrayed because that was his girlfriend. So he goes and he razes the city and kills everybody. While there, a demon shows himself. A demon, the type of demon is called a Nathrazim. What was his name? Mal'Ganis. That's the name of the demon. Mal'Ganis says he's the one who's been spreading the plague. And if you want to come and face me yourself, meet me in Northrend. That's where I will be waiting for you.
Wow, that's descriptive. That's like an entire continent.
Well, in the lore at the time, that's how much of it existed. That was added in World of Warcraft.
So the whole continent was just missing.
Half of it was missing. So he sails and he lands about there, right? And he needs to go here. Anyway, so while he's there, so necromancy, the plague, the demon, the zombies, the scourge is what they're called, as well as the Lich King, they were all created by the demons, as I mentioned earlier.
Yes.
So this Nathrazim is just like, he's not even a general, he's like a captain. But he's the one claiming to be in charge of this operation. So as they're there, and Arthas is with his men, he's got his 2 right-hand men, a whole army, and a dwarf. What was the dwarf's name? I don't remember. But
Dwarf 2.
Oh my god, I know what it is. I can't remember his name. Anyway, as they're there, he hears rumors of a Runeblade sword, the Frostmourne, that big metal sword.
I remember that one. Yeah.
So, do I have an Arthas? Yes, I do. I have a baby Arthas.
A little man.
He's all dusty.
Oh, that's actually really cool. I like that. I like his helm.
That's the Helm of Domination. Mm-hmm. So he learns about the Frostmourne sword as I get the dust off of him.
Yes.
Yeah, you're Gabby. So he's like, if I'm going to defeat Mal'Ganis, I need to get that sword.
Mm-hmm.
So now him and the dwarf go and they find the Frostmourne, which turns out also was forged by the Nathrezim demon. Now, the dwarf can read the runes, and he's saying, like, whatever the thing says on it, he says, Arthas, I don't think this is actually a good idea. This is like selling your soul to the demons. Mm-hmm. Arthas says, basically, to hell with that, I will do anything to protect my people, even if it means my own life. Mm-hmm. So, he picks up the sword, and pretty much then, he turns, and he kills the dwarf. He ends up living, but for now, he's presumed dead.
Yeah.
He then goes and rallies his men. He goes and he kills the Nathrezim demon. He kills Mal'Ganis. But now, the whispers of Ner'zhul are going through the sword into him. He's now going mad from the whispers. Mm-hmm. And him and his men travel into, like, the wilds of Northrend for, like, a fucking year or two. I don't remember how long, but they travel for a long time.
Oh, damn, that's some loyalty for his men.
This is now his return. The most popular cutscene in World of Warcraft.
Hold on.
What?
Drink.
I don't have a cold one. You have to get a warm one. It's like a YouTube ad break. It's like number 1 in our top 10 is here's some body deodorant. Come sit closer and speak into the mic. If you can get closer. There. Go. Go.
He's just a little guy. He's not a guy, actually. My mistake.
Are you sure about that?
No, really.
No, really? Alright, ready?
Mm-hmm.
The prince is back. Everybody is celebrating. See what rots in his hand?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, my son.
You no longer need to sacrifice for your people. You no longer need to bear the weight of your crown. I've taken care of everything.
What is this? What are you doing, my son?
kingdom shall fall. And from the ashes shall arise a new order that will shake the very foundations of the world.
And that is how the undead starting zone became the way it is.
Goddamn, bro, really just went up and killed a spawn point.
So the underneath sewer area of that city is the undead city. I know you haven't been there in the game, but to get into there, you have to go through that throne room. And a trivia that now a lot of people know now, but didn't know back then, is if you turn all the sound effects down and turn ambience all the way up, you can actually very faintly hear the lines from that cutscene. It's actually like it's ghosts almost.
Yeah, so it's like
it's haunted by the past.
Haunted or bound into the stone. That's really cool.
And actually, you can see the ring of blood on the floor from where the crown landed. It's really cool. Like, you can go there. But yeah, what did you think of that cutscene?
I thought it was going to be longer, but I thought it was really cool. I liked it.
That's the end of Human campaign.
I mean, I'm kind of confused as to why he kneeled. I'm kind of confused as to why he kneeled at first, instead of just walking up and like killing his dad. But it makes it more dramatic, so I kind of understand.
Well, remember, he's coming back pursuing the hero.
Yes, but like, no one's there aside from the two guards in the throne room.
Well, as he's standing up, you see, I think those were Marwyn and Farwyn, his two guys, because they turn with their spears. I think they're going to kill the guards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that makes sense. But like I get walking into the city, although I didn't see.
And it's also an Anduin moment, or not Anduin. It's a Anakin moment.
Oh yeah.
Remember, because they're thinking, oh, it's just Anakin, you know, it's just it's like, oh, it's just Prince Arthas, so why do we need as much guards as they would have had?
Like I was gonna say, it's like, you know, walking into the city, I get it. It's a deception. He has to come in because he makes a big scene. He'll just be thrown out or killed or whatever. So he walks right in, but like, I would have just walked in and stabbed the guy, but it makes it more dramatic this way. I understand. Yeah.
So
the coolest part about that is the little Easter egg in the actual game itself.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That's cool.
Now, I told you about first generation Death Knights. He is the creator of the second generation Death Knights, which are basically risen from the dead warriors, which is everybody else, but these are like rune bound, and they mimic his power at a fraction. So they're a little bit different than just a regular zombie. Also, they will retain, well, I guess Forsaken do as well, but they will retain memories from their past. They're just dead.
Yeah.
But,
they're just dead.
They're just dead. Now, after that, it transitions into the Undead campaign. They're the third party, and then there's a fourth party, but they're the third party because now it's the Scourge in the Undead campaign of Warcraft 3, going all the way up to Quel'Tha the Last, the Elven lands.
What is that?
It's all the way up here.
Oh, very top. Okay.
So now he marches from here. I'm gonna move this again. Moves from here all the way up here. Now he destroys. This is all human land. He destroys all of this. It's gone. That's the undead area in the game. As he moves, this is Eastern Plaguelands. All the way up through here, this is Eversong Woods. He marches in a straight line, and wherever they marched, it kills the land. If you now, this is not in Vanilla WoW. This came up in the first expansion where they unlocked that area. But you can see what's called the Dead Scar. It's like permanently dead, and there's still zombies that roam that area.
Yeah.
But he marches. There's an island up here. That's where the elves have their fount of power called the Sunwell. That was his mission, is to use that to bring forth a very powerful lich. And you're familiar with liches, right? Because those are in other fantasies. Yeah. It's the same as in D&D where they have a phylactery and stuff. Same thing.
Yeah.
So he has the phylactery. He's going to use the fountain to bring him back. And Kel'Thuzad is like the most powerful lich. he is also under orders from one of the top demons, and now so is Arthas, because this is now in that campaign where he learns about Archimonde and Kil'jaeden, primarily Kil'jaeden. Those are the two generals of the Demon Legion. And no, not Archimonde. Kil'jaeden, they're different because one's red, one's blue. Kil'jaeden's the red one. He's the one who actually turned the orcs demon-bound and sent them into the human world. Yeah. I told you that. Now he's talking with them, and he's under the influence of the demons, but he is, he's not quite the Lich King yet. That comes later, but that's what's happening with the Undead campaign. And that's also the introduction to, I don't think I have her figure, but that's the introduction of Sylvanas. She's an elven ranger, and as he's marching through her homeland, he cuts her down, but instead of rising her as a Death Knight, or just a zombie, he pulls out her soul, and she turns into a banshee.
Oh, that's cool.
Now, at some point in the campaign, she manages to break free of his control, as well as a few of the undead, and they hightail it back to the homeland, and they call themselves the Forsaken. That's the origin of the undead, player undead. So
that sounds kind of edgy, but okay.
You're still undead, but you're not under control of the Lich King, basically. So this next one, okay, this is just. He's a demon, but he's actually twisted from what was once a mortal race. That's an alien race. I'll explain it more when we get to that. That's the city of Dalaran, the city of mages. By the way, this dude is fucking huge. You can't tell from the video, but he's massive. Bye!
We're just shooting off the city. Okay.
Well, it worked.
I'm not complaining. It's just funny.
So, not much to tell. Arthas is the one who manages to bring... I think it was Arthas. Brings him in. Now there's one general. They have to get the other one. But he's in, and he starts wrecking shit.
Yeah.
As you saw, he destroys the most... Some of it still survives, but most of Dalaran, which is where Jaina trained, and the prince of the elves trained in magic too. What was his name? Kelthus? Yeah, Kelthus. Anyway, that is the city of mages in right about there. So, as all of this is going on, what happens is the top mages put a ring around part of the city, and they teleport it somewhere else. The rest of it gets fucked, but some of it survives. There's not much more lore to that. That's the cutscene. Oh, yes! Okay, I need to bring up the speed. This is a great cutscene. Now, the orcs and the humans that are led by Jaina have gone to Kalimdor. Now, they need resources, but where they land in Durotar has no trees. This is all desert. Up here, there is trees, but that is the Night Elven land. So now you have another party that's involved, and they're not part of the Alliance. They're their own thing. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, there's like 5 parties in this war, because the Night Elves are their own party.
Yeah.
But now the orcs are going to war with the Night Elves, and that is where you first meet Tyrande, She's like the night elven. She's like the leader now. She's a priestess hunter. So she fights with bow, but she also fights with light. You meet now the twins, Illidan and Malfurion. And you know Illidan, right? Because I talk about him all the time.
Yes.
That's him.
Yeah.
He doesn't have wings yet. he has the blindfold and the tattoos, but so far that's what he looks like. His brother Malfurion is his twin, and he's a druid. He is the first mortal druid, and he is like the arc druid. Right now, Illidan is a demon hunter. He was once a mage. Because they're elves, they live so long, they are roughly just over 10,000 years old. They've been around for fucking forever.
Yeah.
Now, at some point during the first demon invasion, which was 10,000 years ago, we don't need to go into that, but Illidan, he's like a anti-hero. He does bad things for the sake of good. Well, because of that, they imprison him. Like, no, we can't trust you anymore. So you'll hear it later, it's a big meme. In prison for 10,000 years. Well, now the demons are coming back, so they release him like, look, you know how to fight demons, we need you again. Malfurion is pissed. He's like, no, he needs to be in prison. But Tyrande is like, well, he's my friend and he knows how to do this. You're my friend too, we need to fight together. So now you have the night elves, but now, instead of the demons, now they have the orcs. So they're fighting three fronts right now. Illidan goes off and does his own thing. This is where he finds the skull of Gul'dan.
Yes.
And he becomes that.
That's teleported around, yes.
Yes. So he becomes that, and he's big, bad, awesome. Now, meanwhile, the demons are also invading. Right there you have Grommash, the chieftain of the war song.
Yes.
And you have Thrall. While they are here and the demons are attacking, they find out one of them was the one who gave the demon powers to the orcs. The blood of Manaroth. The demon you are about to see is Manaroth. Grommash was the first one to drink his blood. This is now the culmination of that storyline. And it's badass.
So predictable. I knew you would come. And I see you brought the mighty Hell Scream. His blood is mine. As is your whole misbegotten race.
Knocked out immediately.
The boy believed you could be saved, but he didn't know what burns within your soul. Within your heart, you know we are the same. The blood haze has lifted. The demon's fire has burnt out in my veins. I have freed myself. No, old friend. You freed us all.
Thoughts?
World 1, but at what cost? Also, I'll probably have to keep going.
Let's at least finish this one. The next one, okay, so this also has the DLC cutscenes too. This one is the final cutscene of the base game Warcraft 3.
Yeah.
Now they're in the Night Elven lands, and the final battle between all of the races banding together to fight the demons. And there's Archimonde. That's the World Tree Nordrassil. That's like the Night Elves, like, fount of power. That's their immortality. That's Malfurion. He won, but at what cost?
You're right, that guy really was fucking massive, dude.
I told you. But look, there's new life.
The tree has grown another roots.
The roots will heal in time, as will the entire world. The sacrifices have been made. Just as the orcs, humans, and night elves discarded their old hatreds and stood united against a common foe, so did nature herself rise up to banish the shadow forever. As for me, I came back to ensure that there would be a future, to teach the world that it no longer needed guardians. The hope for future generations has always resided in mortal hands. And now that my task is done, I will take my place amongst the legends of the past.
Now I go into retirement. Pretty much.
So now this is gonna be the DLC, which there's, was it 1 or 2 DLCs? I don't remember. I think it was 1, but this is essentially Aftermath. So now we have Illidan and Arthas primarily duking it out and racing to the Helm of Domination. Now, in this time, Illidan, you're going to see here, get some new allies, and I'll explain them in a minute. And his thing is he needs to go find the Helm of Domination to destroy it. His whole goal is to destroy demons, and that's one of their founts of power. So, he's trying to destroy it. Arthas is trying to get to it so he can become so powerful he doesn't need to listen to the demons anymore. Because he's like, no, I'm going to do my own thing, and we're going to be the Scourge faction rather than the demon faction. So this is the intro.
Betrayer.
In truth, it was I who was betrayed.
Daddy Illidan.
Those horns just looking practical.
Still I am hunted.
Those horns just looking practical, honestly.
Still I
All horns are impractical.
Some of them look cool.
Now
tiny
my
tiefling horns.
blind eye see what others cannot. That sometimes the hand of fate must be forced.
So he's a demon hunter. They're essentially like witchers from The Witcher, where they embody the powers of the demons to defeat the demons. He's the first demon hunter and the most powerful. Later on, he accompanies more elves and even some other races to take on the mantle of demon hunter to fight with him. These are one of his new allies. These guys are fucking cool. I've got a figure.
Oh, they're like snake tits.
Yeah, these are the Naga.
That's the name of that thing.
Yeah. Naga stole my bike. Not much more happened. So these are some of his allies that he gets. Now, the origins of these guys are they were once night elves. There's actually, it's going to be way later on as we watch more cutscenes that shows you what happens. But essentially, during the first Legion invasion 10,000 years ago, this was a group of night elves that were close to the center of the Night Elven lands, where the queen was. And the queen tried her best to protect her people as their... That's actually how this is formed. So what happens is that they have a well of eternity. That's their fount of power. That's how they become night elves from... They were actually once trolls. Okay, so the well of eternity, is so powerful that the creatures who came in contact with it accelerated their evolution. So the night elves actually came from trolls. That's why if you look at them closely, they have the same build. They have the long ears. They just lose they have fangs, but they lose the tusks. Now, they're from a specific troll called Dark Trolls, which is why they have purple skin.
Yeah.
And they're more nocturnal. But they were once Dark Trolls. Now, they controlled that fount, so pretty much nothing else got near it. The center of their society was around that magical power. The demons tried using that power as a portal to bring forth more demons. That's how the first Legion there's like a 3-trilogy book series on this. Anyway, what happens at the very end is to stop it, they have to destroy it. And that's what leads into that. And actually, the world used to be a Pangea. These are all split apart. The world splits apart from this. Now, Naga were part of the group closest to the queen who tried her best to protect them, which she was, because she's still alive, the most powerful mage in the world. Probably comparative to Aegwynn, who was Medivh's mother. Anyway, she's doing her best to keep the water out, because now it's blown up, the water's coming in from the ocean, and she can't hold it. So it breaks, and everybody starts drowning. And she reaches out like, is there anything I can do? Well, I'll explain this more later, but essentially a voice returns her plea and says, I will save you if you serve me. So she accepts the deal, and they turn into the Naga. And that helps them survive the oceans, because they're now one with the ocean and they can breathe it.
Yeah.
So we'll explain that more later, but that's them. His other ally ends up being the elves from over here, because while all that's happening, even though they were once allied with the humans and the Alliance, humans are racist as fuck.
Yeah.
And and essentially, I forgot his name, but one human in particular made it so Kael'thas, the Prince of the Elves, he's now the leader because his father actually dies to Arthas when Arthas was marching north. He single-handedly 1v1 him, but he lost. Kael'thas takes his people, renames them from High Elves to Blood Elves after their fallen kin, which, by the way, 90% of the population of the elves died during that.
Huh.
They're almost extinct.
Yeah, that's not enough to bring back population.
90% of them are dead. Anyway, so he takes his people, calls themselves the Blood Elves, and they had their own fount, remember up here, that got blown up as well?
Yeah.
Well, they fed on the magical energy so much, they're now going through magical withdrawal. And they're like, we don't know what to do. They actually start shriveling and turning into what's called the Withered, and losing themselves to the addiction. So, Illidan comes to them and says, I'll give you a source of energy you can feed on. It's fel magic. That's how Blood Elves have green eyes. So if you see an elf that's got blue eyes, that's their natural form. Green eyes are ones that fed off the fel with Illidan and Kael'thas. Now later on, a faction of those elves split. Like you had some elves that said, no, we're not sucking demon juice. They kept their blue eyes and they went back to the humans. Then you have a bunch of them that have green eyes, and then from there, they split again. And they are the ones that are now allied with the Horde, while others stayed with Kael'thas and Illidan. Okay, this is the final cutscene here. So, Illidan and Arthas make their way to Northrend, and they fight each other. There is a cutscene, but it's like an in-game cutscene, and it's terribly made. But essentially what happens is they duke it out, and Arthas wins.
Yeah.
So now, here's the final cutscene.
Lead your men home. You lost your mind on this.
I'm nervous.
You lied to your men and betrayed the mercenaries who fought for you. What's happening to you, Arthas?
Some prince will find only death at the cold.
That's Ner'zhul talking to him.
That's it. That's the thing.
That's the thing.
From this prison.
At least I've already played that by doing that.
Then it can never become a Burger King crown. My friend 3D printed a wearable one of those.
Oh, sweet.
I want to get a replica, a metal replica one.
Let's make one.
Not that's too advanced.
He's got the drip.
He's got the drip.
Now, we are one.
And I showed you the intro of Wrath of Lich King where he wakes up from that.
Yeah.
That's the end. But yeah, the basically, he's one of the best written villain characters because when you first start off with him, he's the hero. He's the one sent to stop the plague. And he's got his friends, and they're figuring it out. Maybe they have a chance. And you can start to see over time, it's the parable of the path to hell is paved with good intentions.
Yes.
And he slowly starts, like, I will do anything to protect my people. And he means anything, to the point that now he's actually being corrupted. It's no longer his choice. Well, it is, but it isn't at the same time. To the point that he gets that far. Now, he is the villain, and he succeeded at his goal. And the best part is, it ain't no fucking pussy millennial writing. There is no redeeming.
Yeah. He tried to protect people, and then he made himself into a monster, I suppose. In a way. I don't know. I like it. I love this just visual here.
Yeah.
It could be like a background of it. If the resolution was cranked up some, that'd be pretty
Oh,
good
I'm sure you
backgrounds.
could find it.
Yeah.
But I'm sure people, because a lot of the cutscenes that I showed you, people have actually recreated.
I was gonna say, some people have probably like drawn it, like accurately and stuff, and not super clearly.
But, so we didn't get as far as I wanted to today, but we got through Warcraft 2 and Warcraft 3. So now the next time would be Vanilla WoW, probably TBC and Wrath of the Lich King.
Yeah.
So what did you think of just Warcraft 2 and Warcraft 3? Visuals, loose term, is the first, as the second game goes. But in terms of the lore,
It feels like I've only seen about 5% of the lore.
2%.
Yeah. From the way you talk about it and the videos, it seems like there's way so much that I'm not going to be able to keep track of it all. But
because I tried keeping to main points to stay with the cutscenes.
Yeah.
Were you at least able to follow along and recognize names as I was describing the story?
It's been a while since we watched the Warcraft movie a little while ago, so I don't remember everything that happened in it, or all the names in it, but when described, I did remember, and I did remember what you said about them cutting stuff out of that movie, too, that would have made it make a lot more sense. And I remember the movie was very confusing for me, because it seemed to jump around a little bit, evidently with the pieces that they cut out in an attempt to make it faster. But this does have me fascinated to see what else will be in the story. I probably won't be able to remember it all, but I am fascinated to learn and see what the other cutscenes have, especially since we only got through, like, what was it, 2 videos today?
Yeah, but they were compilation videos.
I know. I mean, like, 2 videos out of 70 in the playlist.
Well, so
which I know not all of them are gonna be, like, quote unquote important, but
So what happened? What happened? What where'd it go?
You back in the books? Go back again.
I thought it went too far back is what happened. Okay, we'll play this. So let me switch this back over. So we did this one and we did this one. And that's the start. And what's funny is I'll show you in a second, but so that's the intro to World of Warcraft Vanilla. That's the last patch because that is, we're going to go through trailers, in-game cutscenes, and opening cinematics.
Yes.
This is, I would say, the first trailer that actually had like a bit of story to it, even though it wasn't fully animated. They get a lot better at that by, right here, you see there's all these trailers for their patches.
Yeah.
All of those, you'll see the raid and you'll see the enemies to fight within the raid, but a lot of it is what's going on now in terms of the story. Why are we here? What's the story of this guy? And there's Illidan and his allies there because there's the one of the Nagas. Yeah. There's Kael'thas. But what's just funny is watch this. So I'm gonna just scroll down. You can tell what each expansion is based on the color of the cuts of the thing. So watch this. Oh, there's blue, and then there's red, and then there's green, and then there's like red, purple, and And there's green again.
Yeah.
And then black to blue.
Yep. I see that.
It's kind of funny how you can tell the expansions, but
I wonder if that was intentional.
I think it just happened because here they go back to Northrend to fight Arthas, and it's blue, cold, snowy area. Yeah. Here, I'll just tell you, they go to Outland, which do you remember Outland?
Yes, I believe so. Explain it.
That's the now ruined Orcish homeworld.
Oh yes. Yeah.
It's full of
the floaty planet thing.
Yes, it is full of demonic energy.
Yes.
And demonic energy is depicted by green. So that's why most of that. That's just green because trolls. But that's why that. And then we'll get to see the Sunwell that I explained earlier. We'll get to see Northrend. So all of these, because now I've explained to you the baseline of the lore. Now you will actually get to see, well, at least up through here, see all those areas from Warcraft 3. Experience the characters of Warcraft 3. Here starts to get a little bit more new rather than repeating old stories, but you get to see, like, there's Deathwing, the Worgen, the werewolf creatures, there's more troll lore, the elemental lords, and you'll get to see all of that. The Pandaria, there's more in-depth character cutscenes where you get to see the characters. So that's a good one right there. But I would say out of all of them, I won't show it to you, but my favorite one is this one right here. This one has always been my favorite. But, well, that one and this one. I know it's just a thumbnail, but the announcement trailer for this that's one of the worst expansions ever made. But in terms of gameplay, the theme of it is so testosterone filled. It's amazing. Like, the theme of this expansion is beautiful, but they just fucking fumbled it. But yeah, that's what we'll do later on.
All right.